Welcome to this look at a new to console mod map on Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on Dry Lagoon, Andalusia. This is new to console. It had an update the other day, and part of that was script removed so it can be published to console. It's by Truck69, 118.12 megabytes download. There are 2 required mods which download automatically. I will go straight into the build mode. Under build mode, under production, under factories, there's been a few tweaks to some factories, and we've got a grain mill sell point there as well. And then if we go to animals and horses, that's the only other thing that's been changed. So that's the only thing added in, over and above, nothing else. Slot count is 1,173 on all 3 game modes: new farmer, farm manager, and start from scratch. This is what the map looks like. And on new farmer, we start with the main farm area here, plot 14 just above us, and then this plot down the side here, which is like terraced, tiered, stepped, however you want to refer to it. Grapevines that run right down the side. We'll go out towards the debris crusher and we'll have a look at that in a little while. It's quite cool actually, I like that. This is the first map by Truck69. I think the only mod, the only thing put up by Truck69. And when it says dry lagoon, it's actually interesting because as you go around, there's a lot of very wet areas for a dry lagoon. So I'm making a complete assumption here that this was possibly had previously been a lagoon that has dried, maybe. But obviously the water is trying to work its way back in. You'll see as we go around, there's water all over the place. But it's an interesting map actually. Field prices aren't too bad. Plot prices, should I say? However you want to refer to that now. Not bad. We can buy the verges around the outside if you want to. It's expensive, 7,276,535. There's a plot up here we'll get to later on. We'll drive past that. And I thought maybe there was a sell point or something on it. I thought that's a bit much to have to buy all of that just to get the sell point. So I did it off camera, and there's not. But there is a building there. If you wanted to put a sell point and stuff on it, you could buy the verges off camera. There's a bit up the top here as well you can use. Again, that's entirely up to you, as always the case. What is nice as well, all of the areas that have got factories, productions, whatever it is on them, you can buy all of those plots. So for, again, adding in decoration or whatever it might be you want to do, you can do that, which makes it quite usable. Now, as far as slot count goes, because you start with all the buildings, all the machinery and stuff on all 3 game modes, if you decide you're going to remove all the buildings and all the machinery and equipment, I got the slot count down from 1,173 to 851, I think it was. Could be 831, 851, I think it was. But this comes with a warning. One of the buildings, that shed there, I couldn't remove. And a couple of the buildings that I did remove leave you with big craters in the ground. There's a workshop just over there. You'll see, I'm going to show you a little video clip now. And where the grain mill is, and it's quite, I like the way the grain mill's been done on here. It's very clever. You can remove the building, but then it leaves a big crater, and I think because of the way the water plane's been done on the map as well, it leaves like a water pool, which you can probably landscape. But I'm going to show you a little video clip of that now. Normally I would show you a screenshot of what it looks like. The other thing as well to note is you can't get rid of all the decorative objects around, and in that building there, we'll get to in a little while, there's pallet storage. The icons on the floor remain. Now whether you can texture over those or not, I'm not sure, but again, like I say, it just comes with a warning, so I'll show that now. There are no custom crops. There are 20 collectibles. Contracts are available. You do start with on new farm, like I say, there's pallet manager. We'll go into here and go down to this. So your pallet manager, we've got 7 of them that are in that large shed I just mentioned. And that's for storage of these particular things. You can put them onto there and manage them. And then you can set them to outgoing as well. So once you put them on that racking, you can then have them distributing out to various locations if you want to. So yeah, on farm management start from scratch, because you don't own the land yet, they won't be showing, but once you buy the land, they are still there regardless. So we have got a methane and electricity point just there. Around the sides here, we've got our sleep trigger, wardrobe trigger. Spoiler alert, the collectibles, there are a few around the farm area. There's one right here. Boom. 50 grand, not too bad. We come just across here. We do start with some solid fertiliser. We've got a couple of pallets and a couple of pallets of seed. Very nice. We've got a Farmer 400 silo. I don't think, was there anything in this? I don't think there's anything in it. 400,000 litre standard crop types. Like I said, there's nothing over and above the 2 required mods. And like I say, those tweaks to the factory and the horses, everything else is standard. Our start equipment is here. And we've got some in here. We've got an olive, I always refer to it as olive umbrella, but because there are on the map, I'm going back to the map, we've got areas of grapes and olives, quite a lot of them, and I think it said, one part of the update was, yes, that the olives and grapes are all ready to harvest, so if you wanted to buy those plots immediately, you can get cracking straight on with olive and grape harvests if you want to. And they're olive trees, because one of the required mods is the olives and olive picker by Rowley Christie 1 VSR modding. So hayloft just there, again standard, 250,000 litres. We come around the side here, bale and pallet storage, 250 items with a bale spike just next to it. Come across the way here, we've got horses, 14. We don't have 14, but you can put 14 in it. We've got Langstrath 33 hive, I think it is. Yep. So we've got bees here, got a little water point just here, and then we've got a massive placeables area. So as far as expanding the farm, building it up, you've got loads of room here. Or you could plough it all up and turn it into a field, or you could turn it into a forest, or I mean, like I say, whatever you want to do with it, but you've got this huge area. As far as the fencing around it goes, we can remove the fencing. If you want to remove the fencing, if that's not your cup of tea or you want to put something else in, you can, or you want to blend other fields in. We have got a point over there which looks like it's for jet washing. There's a little well next to it, but there's not a jet wash, so I guess you'd have to place one. You've got this sort of watery area with a drain, so I assume for jet washing vehicles. It's not a jet wash, I'm not being blind, am I? Don't think so, no. And then, like I say, this large building here houses all of your storage requirements of all various different items. And like I say, you can remove, if we go into here, because I always have these on for, hang on, where are we? Interactive zone markers. I always have those on for map tour. Turn those off, so it takes the hazard mark things away, but it leaves these. And that was kind of part of the, just something to be aware of. So these all here, your beehives, your honey spawn point is in here as well, so your honey pallets will spawn there. And we have a forklift as well in here. Open that up and come out of here. And this is the grain mill. Now you have to buy the grain mill separately, but what I like about this is that kind of concept of the grain going in and it being milled. And normally a grain mill, the grain comes in the top, goes down the chute, goes onto the grinding stones, obviously not newer mills, and then kind of will get bagged and all the rest of it in a sort of drop system. Come here, buy production for 96,000. It's a standard grain mill with flour coming out. So in is done here, managed production is done there, but the out, and like I said, I just like this. I thought it was quite a cool feature. Under here, so your pallets will spawn underneath. So there's kind of being milled. I mean, like I say, a trap door or something better. That's how it works. I like that. That's neat. So hop onto here. We come around this side here. We've got a workshop in here. Workshop trigger there. And we've got a little Mahindra just here. So we'll start that up and back out. That's the main farm. What I'm going to do before we head off, I'm just going to put some money in. I can't remember how much I need actually. I might be able to get away with doing it just borrowing from the bank. Just bear with me momentarily. I think that'll be enough. So it's a kind of curious route round. A couple of bits we will, I will kind of probably skip the drive. I'll explain why when we get there. And it's interesting because you've got all the, as you go around, there's sort of this wet look texture. Like I say, you just get the feeling the ground has been reclaimed, but the ocean or whatever it is just trying to claim it back. Everywhere around the map you go, there's evidence of yeah, of water. So biogas plant is just here. Now this is one where you can purchase the land independently. So if you don't want the biogas plant, technically, if you don't want the biogas plant, you can buy the land for 36,936. But when you buy the biogas plant, you get the land with it anyway. Now I also tried to, when I did that off camera, I couldn't sell any of this here. The only bit I could sell was this bit of the building here, which kind of, you're almost better off just leaving it in all honesty. 471,000, we can do that. So biogas plant, standard crop types in, digestate out. Very nice indeed. And as you'll see now, I keep going back through here, we own the land now. So like I say, either way around, you can get the land like that. What we're going to do now is we're going to head back across the yard and down here. So we're going to head out and have a look at the steps there. So when we get round to here, what's interesting is we do have one of our vehicles, or a couple of bits of our equipment are actually here. And this is a kind of forest area which again seems to be being reclaimed by the sea. And then from there we've got a bit of a drive all the way around to come back up here. So maybe some bits of that I'll skip. I don't know. I haven't quite decided yet. So if you like your grapes and olives, no shortage, there's plenty to be cracking on with. Which is interesting that other than the olive umbrella, you don't actually start with any other grape harvesting gear. Or olive harvesting gear. So just out here, we've got a supermarket. And that building just across the way over there, I'm not going to drive all the way out to that, but that building over there, that's your biomass heating plant. Now that's a standard biomass heating plant, so that's why it's just a sell point, so you'll take various items there to sell. It's not ones like on maps by the Lort, where the biomass heating plant, you can take stuff and you can produce solid fertiliser. It's not one of those, it's just a standard sell point. But if we drive out across here, I mean, there is a roadway that comes out, but this seemed to me just to be the sort of quickest way of getting to this. We've got a debris crusher just here, and the roadway does go up and join up to the sort of north with the rest of the roadway. So debris crusher here, and this is your tiered vineyard. Rocky outcrops with tiers. Oh, it's quite cool, that. I like that. I say something a bit different, isn't it? Let's go into here, look. So you start with a new farmer. Very cool. So from our debris crusher, we're going to head out around the flooded forest. Now there is a kind of a flooded bit of roadway out here. I would say just be careful. You know when you get that message come up, do not drive too deeply in the water, because you're getting to the point where you are almost out of your depth. It came up with that, but I think because I'm in a vehicle where you can see the character, the camera didn't like it at all. The camera started flicking from side to side. It was a bit, yeah, a bit worrying. So if you fancy a bit of swamp logging, if you're playing multiplayer and you've got a crew of keen loggers that want to have a go, extreme logging awaits. The water's fairly deep here as well, so I guess you'd have to be fairly careful. I suppose you could run a kind of, depends how deep you want to go down the route, but if your equipment's going to go too deeply into the water, depending on what equipment you're using, I guess you could do you could reclaim the land as you work your way across, you know, cutting down the trees, removing the stumps, and then kind of reclaiming it, building the land back up. I don't know, like I say, whenever I go around a map and do a map tour, my brain starts, you know, chugging away with ideas of what you could do or couldn't do, or, you know. This bit here, just be wary. I'm not going to drive through there, but it is fairly deep, and the little Mahindra didn't like it very much. So you're not going to have to go down too far. It's a little bit like Western Wilds. I think No Man's Land is the same, isn't it, by Alien Jim. When you do landscaping, if you landscape down and you lower the ground, you're going to hit that water plane very quickly. So we're coming through here. There's a little shed here. We don't own this plot of land, but up in here we do have a bureau, and we've got a stump grinder, which is part of our inventory in this shed just here. There we go. And what I like is there's a few of these dotted around as well. These log poles, so for cutting down trees and then storing your logs between them. And it's a big old thing, but you could pack that. I think if you pack that full, it would lag like nobody's business. But the poles are there for putting your trees between. So we went down there and out to the debris crusher and the grapes there. And we looked across towards the biomass just there, and we've swept around there. There's that little water, well, I say water splash. There's no way of getting it, because I thought I'd just cut across, but the water's too deep. I can't do that. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to drive around here and up. I'll show you that a little bit then when we get to here. That building, like I said, that's out on the verges of the map. So if you did want to turn it into a sell point production chain, whatever it might be, you could, or you could have a start. I guess you could probably have a start farm there. I guess you could probably. I 100% think that maybe. And what's cool is down to the south as well. You can see the water out there as well. We are down to the south. Not enveloped. We're not enveloped. It's not on all sides. It's just down to the south and up a little bit. Round to the west. Right, I will see you over there in a moment. So you come up this side here, you can see it over there. I think it's the Oberon bakery building, and you can get all the way out to it. It's like I say, it's not. Sometimes you see these on the edges of maps just to add a bit of immersion to a map, but you can't actually get out there. Look, the water as well here. It's kind of cool. So you can get all the way out here to it if you wanted to spend the money. And you've got a load of space here, so you could add more stuff on if you wanted to. Right, now we're going to follow this road around, head up into the forested area. I mean, there's multiple forested areas, and we've got 2 carpentries. When I first came up, and it's lucky because sometimes I'll kind of, if it's not showing in the build mode that something has been modded or adjusted, I will usually take it that they're standard. What I've started doing a lot more now is when I do a map tour off camera, I will go around and buy every single production just to double check that something hasn't been adjusted, tweaked. You know, it's not always that easy to tell. But there are 2 carpentries up here, and they were showing in the build mode. The first one we're coming to, and this isn't the first one, but this is the first one we're coming to. So this first one takes planks and makes furniture. Have I got enough to buy both? I don't think I have. But yeah, so this one, if you purchase this one, if you bring planks to it, it will make furniture. Fine, that's standard for a carpentry. The next one, however, acts more like a sawmill, and I'm surprised that it's not a sawmill, that it's a carpentry. I don't know why a sawmill wasn't put in, but anyway. So the next one does what a sawmill would do. So whilst it is carpentry, they're both 60 grand. If you purchase the next one along, that takes wood and makes planks. So this one, you would bring your wood, make your planks. You would then take your planks from this one to that one to make your furniture. So if you're looking on the map thinking, I don't understand why there's 2 carpentries, that's why. This one acts more like a sawmill, but it is a carpentry on the map. Now I'm going to try and find, where was it? Don't try this at home, kids. I do what I do because I'm an idiot. Don't be like MrSealyp. Be your own person. There we go. Down from there, that's not the route you should take. We've got a great processing unit just there, and that is standard. Between our vineyards and olive orchards, just there. We come around and across here, we will come to the oil mill, again standard. That's quite cool. You got these little water pools, I suppose they're little lagoons in their own right, aren't they? Little water storage points just there. I don't think you get water from them, but... So, oil mill, standard. We are going to cut across here and join the road, because whilst these are all your vines, as in your sort of standard grapevines and standard in-game olive orchards, I think the ones to the north, I didn't actually go and check. Yeah, the ones to the north are the ones that are part of the pack by Rowley Christie 1 VSR Modding Sur, and these are your olive trees. I will say this now, because I ran them on Carpathian countryside, thinking it would be the coolest thing to do. The amount of time and effort it took, that you didn't get anywhere near the return. But yeah, so out here, these are the ones from that required mod. So these are trees rather than vines out here, and that's going to take a long time to harvest. But anyway, I digress. Back towards the... It's not even really a town, it's kind of scattered really. Back across the bridge, trying to avoid pedestrians. We've got a gas station just there. Bakery coming up on the left hand side. Standard bakery. Nothing tweaked or changed about that. Then at the end of the road we have got our vehicle shop and workshop, which is also the reset point on the map too. Just here. Then round behind that we've got the grain elevator sell point. Just there. Then from here, out the back. I'm going to be honest, off camera when I was doing my tour round, I went out of the gate just over there, went out to the road, along the road, round the back, down there, and when I came back along here I suddenly thought, oh, I didn't... I came all the way back round and came along here to this roundabout and then realised there was another exit there which I could have used. Oh, never mind. Up here. Rising up onto the plateau, we're coming to the animal dealer and animal dealer sell point. Nice view out across the map, the countryside. We've got turning coming up. Just here. Actually, I'm not too sure why the sides here are wet, because we're quite elevated. I wouldn't think this would still be flooded, but anyway, it's a minor thing. May have just had heavy rains. Animal dealer, just there. I do like it when you get a map where everything's really well marked, like easily marked. You can see everything. Straightforward, no messing, no problem. But the only downside on this one is that when you remove your hazard marked areas, that doesn't go. I'll try on here because I'm not too sure it will. Interactive zone markers off. Actually, they stay here no matter what on this one. Yeah, because that, I mean, that sort of thing, if you're trying to play sort of an immersive farming experience, that sort of thing people might not like. So I like it on a map, especially when you're new to a map and you're going around, especially on maps that are really complicated and there's loads going on. It really helps to have those so you know what can be sold where. But the ability to turn those on and off is quite helpful. Anyway, that's the animal dealer and animal dealer sell point, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is the map. Come back. So yeah, we came from the carpentry down to there, across to there, then out up there to have a look at the olive trees, back past the gas station, bakery, vehicle workshop and reset point, and then grain elevator there. We came out the back of there, swept up here, and we're up here. We have been around the entire map. That is Dry Lagoon Andalusia by Truck 69. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.